We therefore recommend that the Congress of the United States immediately propose an amendment to the federal Constitution repealing the 18th Amendment.
The 1932 presidential campaign brought with it mounting demand to end the days of prohibition.
I call definite attention to the fact that just as soon as the Democratic platform pledge is enacted into a law modifying the Volstead Act, a source.
Democratic challenger Franklin D. Roosevelt made it a promise to repeal the law. He won the 1932 presidential campaign, was inaugurated the following March, and within his first 30 days in office, he fulfilled that election promise. On March 22, 1933, FDR signed the Beer and Wine Revenue Act, legalizing the sale of alcohol under a 3.2% liquor content.
Just as soon as that happens, a source of new revenue amounting to several hundred millions of dollars a year will be made available towards the balancing of the budget.
Alcohol would generate a new source of income for the government after its 13-year absence. In January 1920, the National Prohibition Act gave local and states authorities the right to enforce the 18th Amendment.
Come on now. Get up here. Sit down.
The Temperance Movement had been growing during the 19th century. A common rallying cry was the belief that banning alcohol would put an end to crime. But as the 20s progressed, it had quite that adverse effect.
Soon, Chicago, heart of the bootleg industry, had over 10,000 speakeasies.
Prohibition opened lucrative doors for the underground. Producing, selling, and distributing liquor became a job executed by organized crime.
What it came down to is that the police were actually kind of on the sidelines during Prohibition, because if you stepped up and tried to stop this, you'd either lose your job or you'd lose your life.
Prohibition proved difficult and expensive to enforce. As the 20s roared on, repeal organizations garnered more and more support. But when the stock market crashed, the push to legalize alcohol turned its focus to the benefits for the economy. And FDR, who enjoyed a drink every now and then, used it to his advantage. During the 1932 election, Roosevelt attacked incumbent and current President Herbert Hoover for the state of the economy.
Well, my friends, I say this to you. Yes, things might have been worse. But on the other hand, remember that things might have been a whole lot better.
FDR's campaign highlighted a set of sweeping initiatives known as the New Deal that included legalizing alcohol to create jobs and generate federal funds through tax revenue.
Another Roosevelt pre-election promise has become another Roosevelt accomplishment, and in the shortest possible time for such an important measure.
The Beer and Wine Revenue Act, signed into law on March 22, 1933, marked the first time prohibition laws had been eased since the 18th Amendment took effect. Later that year, the act would be followed by the passage of the 21st Amendment.
With an eye on December 5th, work is being rushed in distilleries and bottling works. Thousands are being called back to work in plants of allied industries. At least 500,000 new jobs are predicted as the result of repeal. From keg and barrel factories, perhaps the most closely allied line, immediate benefits from repeal extend into almost every line of business and commerce.
On December 5, 1933, the states ratified the 21st Amendment and prohibition was entirely repealed. The social experiment intended to better society was officially laid to rest.